What's up? Flippin' Steve, just got done at the gym. Weird when you start off your workout listening to Best of Both Worlds by Van Halen. And it ends with Man in the Box by Alice in Chains. And I'm here to shoot another video. If you were waiting for me to drop an entire video on the backyard break situation, that's not going to happen. What I will say is I don't condone anything that they do or anything that was said in that live stream. Completely disagree with it. There is no place for it in the world, let alone this hobby. But basically, that's just my simple thoughts. If you guys want to see them get punished, it's not going to come down from the corporate sponsors. It's not going to come down from the manufacturers and things like that. You guys who use their platform are just going to have to speak with your wallet. And I'm going to guess that a lot of people watching this video aren't supporters of backyard breaks to begin with. Because I have limited time and I only do about one video per week, I am not going to give them any more of my time, and that's all I got to say about it. I am sure tonight on Off Centered, we will probably touch on that.
Ham, how do you feel about backyard breaks? Anything new for you? Do you participate in that?
I don't go to backyard, no.
Amongst other subjects going on in the hobby.
There's a reason Dallas traded him.
Oh. Yeah, they're tired of his fat crap.
So if you want to see probably a more lengthy discussion on that and all of our opinions.
Last I checked, he was in the NBA Finals last year.
And go back because this video is going to come out after Off Centered is filmed.
And he got smoked by a team that plays defense.
It is Wednesday afternoon right now, and Off Centered is Wednesday night. So this video could be out on Thursday or Friday.
You owe us all $25 for that.
You'll know when it uploads. But the main subject matter of this video is going to coattail off of my last video where I said I'm going to get into picking up some younger quarterbacks that I'm going to prospect for going into the NFL season, have some fun stuff to move at the National. So this is my thought process, and this is going to be part one because there's too much to put into one video, but I'm going to start my process and my criteria of what a player or quarterback must meet in order for me to start putting my money into them. Woo! Before I get into my criteria list, I want to preface this by saying that if you find a good deal on the card, regardless if that player is on your list or meets your certain criteria, if you feel like you're getting a good deal, that doesn't mean shy away from it. In fact, I bought a card last night of a quarterback that I'm not really targeting on my list. However, the price for it just made sense and I bought it. But that doesn't mean I'm going out and chasing down all kinds of cards of this player because I'm not necessarily going to get the deals that I found on the card that I bought last night. Also, with that being said, just because something is really, really cheap, you don't just go out and spend your money on it thinking that it's going to go up because it's cheap. Some stuff will just stay down forever and never really regain or hold any value. You wouldn't go out and say, hey, look at that piece of crap, it's only $1. And buy it because it was only $1, right? So for instance, don't go out and blow a wad of cash on Desmond Ridder cards.
I'd buy that for $1.
Thinking that he's going to have some miraculous comeback and you're going to go out and flip him and make a lot of money. But for myself, price point will always be the key on when I start my criteria list of the quarterbacks that I want to prospect on or that I want to buy. Because you can be a great quarterback, but if you're expensive, I don't necessarily want to buy your cards. You can be really, really cheap, but if you have no chance in hell of going up in value, in my mind, then I'm not going to put my money into those cards either. But price point is definitely going to be a determining factor because I'm conservative and I don't like to gamble big. I like to use my list to find the balance between price point and potential and then make my decision on where I want to put my money. Guys, I'm at the post office. I got to drop off a card that I sold this week. A Jalen Hurts black flamethrowers numbered out of 10. Let's go ahead and get into this criteria list. And important to remember that this is my criteria list. That doesn't make me right. And if you think differently, that does not make you wrong. This is just the formula that I'm comfortable using when it comes to spending my money and prospecting. So, number one, they have to have something wrong that has caused them to fall out of favor with the hobby. Maybe they had a bad year. Maybe they just regressed from the prior season. Maybe they had an injury. Maybe they're a backup quarterback that needs opportunity. So again, these are going to be the types of players that I target because I want to avoid baked-in goodness. And most of your really good players, your top quarterbacks in the league, already have high expectations that they need to meet. They've already met some high expectations, and their prices are already high because these players are in demand for their accomplishments or their performance. Again, that's going to go back into price point because I'm not looking to spend big dollars on players that I believe have a minimal ceiling. If you were to go back to the beginning of this season, if you put your money into Caleb Williams, you probably lost a little bit. If you put your money into Jaden Daniels early, you probably came up a little bit. But if you put your money into someone like Bo Nix, because he didn't have the baked-in goodness, in fact, many people expected him to not play very well, he superseded expectations, which caused his cards to see bigger percentage gains because they were low to start with, and now they're one of the most in demand from the younger quarterbacks. Also, with that being said, I will not be targeting anyone from the 2024 class because those are going to be the rookies coming into their second year that are super fresh on everyone's mind. And with it being fresh on their mind, it's going to drive their popularity and it's going to drive the demand, people wanting to buy them. And again, I'm targeting quarterbacks that I'm going to have less competition when it comes to buying. Number two, I'm only going as far back as the 2021 season and through the 2023 season. So that is the time frame of rookie cards that I'm looking for. The 2020 class was great, of course. You had Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Tua for what it's worth, Jordan Love. You just had lots of quarterbacks in that 2020 class that have been successful. Those guys are already hobby darlings. They're already expensive with maybe the exception of Tua. So I want to target the 2021 class through 2023 because I believe that's where I can find the best bargains. That's also going to play over into the age of the player as well. On average, most NFL quarterbacks hit their prime between 26 and 33. The ages of 26 through 33 are normally the most productive seasons of an NFL quarterback's career. So I'm looking for players that are under the age of 26. Most of the players above the age of 26 through 30 are already playing well, are already not worth prospecting on because of their price point. Some examples: Lamar Jackson, he's 28. Josh Allen, he's 28. Patrick Mahomes, who's considered to be the old man of the bunch, is 29. Joe Burrow, I believe, is even 27. He seems a lot younger, but I believe Joe Burrow is 27 already. Justin Herbert is 26. So again, these quarterbacks and their ages, these guys, as you can see, it corresponds with their age. They're doing really well, they're in their prime, and they're already over that 26-year-old age mark, playing well, driving their prices, something that I'm going to want to avoid. Just arrived home from the gym, and this is happening real time. Got a couple packages in the mail. Also got an Amazon package here. One of these cards, I'm going to post it instantly to Instagram. Imagine that. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this card before the video even uploads. Flipping_Steve. If you waited for the video to upload to see this card, it may have been days by now. Creatine! Guys, it's 4 a.m. I just worked a 10-hour shift at my job, but I love you that I've come back to finish this video because I want to have it uploaded by Friday.
We got my 40, homie.
So, number 3 on my criteria list is going to be draft capital. I myself really like to take into account the draft capital that a team spends on a player because I firmly believe that the higher that someone is drafted, especially if it's in the first round, the more chances or opportunities that they're going to get. Whether it be with the team that drafts them or whether it be with a team down the line that wants to give them a second chance or bring them in as a backup. A lot of times when someone is drafted in the first round, they're afforded a lot more chances than quarterbacks that are taken in the mid rounds, the back ends of the rounds. And that's not to say that first round draft picks do not bust out, do not fail, because they do. And that's not to say that people don't come out of the later rounds of the draft and be successful, because that happens as well. But I believe someone that's drafted earlier in the draft is going to be given more chances. It's going to take longer for teams to give up on them. A couple examples that come to mind from 2018. Baker Mayfield, first pick of the draft, had a good solid season with the Browns, then struggled, bounced around a couple teams, and has now found a home with Tampa Bay. He's still in the league because he was a first-round pick and because he was given multiple opportunities. Sam Darnold, one of the people that I really did well off of last year, failed with the Jets, bounced around a couple other teams, landed with the Vikings, and was successful this year, not only in the NFL, but also in the hobby. That's just two that pop right in my mind right there. For me, I'm going to target the guys that aren't in the spotlight. I want to stay under the age of 26, and draft capital is really important to me. 3 quarterbacks that I was successful on last year, guys, when I followed this guideline, were Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold, and Justin Fields. And the only quarterback that I failed on out of the 4 that I chose last season was Desmond Ridder. And he doesn't fit into anywhere on this list. So I'm curious, comment below, guys, some of the criteria that you use. Do you agree with any of mine? Do you disagree with any of mine? But just tell me, what is your thought process? I'm going to work on the second video of this where I'm actually going to come up with some players and start putting players and names to these categories so that I can go ahead and pick my flips for this season. I'm tired. I still got to edit, but it was worth finishing this video for you guys. Give me a like and subscribe on the way out. I'll see you in part 2.
Well, I can't figure out just 2.